Spiritual warfare. Protect your peace. Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge, day 233. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about this today. What the heck is spiritual warfare? Why do we have to protect our peace? What does it even mean? Spiritual, of course, we're focusing on the spiritual area and aspect of our business all this month. And I really like this area because it's just like emotional and mental. Most people don't even think about these three areas when it comes to building, growing, scaling, and supersizing our businesses. We do all the strategic things, and we think about all the number crunching and the financials and the legal and the regulatory things, but we don't spend very much time on what I call the soft surfaces, the soft parts of our business that can make the biggest difference. They give us a competitive advantage because the vast majority of businesses are not considering these things, yet they are the things that are the essence of our culture, the essence of our business, the root of our purpose, and why we have our business in the first place. So spiritual warfare, I don't really like this expression. I'm just going to be right up front with that because it focuses on the negative. There are plenty of things to get our attention focusing on the negative. So do we really need to add to them? Probably not. Think of the war on drugs. Think of the war on anything. And you will realize that whenever we're focusing on the war of something, we're giving more energy to the negative aspect of that thing. And what does that do? It creates more of it, which is just the opposite of what we want. What if we have a war on profitability? Maybe that would be more effective than what we do sometimes in our businesses. So spiritual warfare is just the internal battle between our highest, best version of our business and ourselves and negative emotions, negative experiences, ego, doubt, worry, fear, anxiety, anything like that. So protecting our peace is required. All it requires is our awareness that those things come up. And guess what? They're going to come up every day. They're going to come up no matter how many years or decades you've been in business, no matter how much experience you have. Doubt, worry, fear, things like that are going to pop up. Stress. I think stress is probably one of the biggest stealers of anything in our lives, and we don't even realize it. Now, there's eustress, which is good stress, and there's de-stress, which is bad stress. We'll talk about that in other areas, other videos. I've definitely talked about it a lot before. Not a lot, but at least once or twice a year. So how do we protect our peace? What does it require? It requires that we be aware that things are always chipping away at us, right? That we live in a world that has a whole lot of negativity in it, and we can change our perspective and our point of view about that, or we can let it eat away at us in our business. I'm going to say we're not going to let it eat away at our business. We're going to put a little shield of protection around ourselves and become aware. And anytime we notice something is off, we are going to stop and do something about it, right? One of my biggest tricks is whenever something trips me up a little bit is I just step outside. I step outside and I take a few deep breaths, and that just resets everything. And it buys me time to have a better reaction to a situation, to an experience, to a phone call, to whatever it might be. Because really, did any of us ever die because of a phone call? Not me. And I actually did die one time. That was a long time ago. So what are different ways that we can create spiritual armor for ourselves and in our business? And what does in our business, what does spiritual warfare mean? What does it mean? It means protecting our boundaries. It means having boundaries. It means communicating those boundaries. It means not allowing toxic customers, and I've had experience with this, or toxic partnerships, or anything like that. Fear-based decisions, ego-based things, value misaligned partnerships. I've definitely had those. And we never get into partnerships thinking that our values are going to be misaligned, but usually down the road, we find out that they may be. Same is true in relationships. Sometimes we think our relationships and we're on the same page about everything, because in the beginning of relationships, we act as if we're on the same page about everything, and only over time does true character and true personality traits and true boundaries and true beliefs and true values and things come out. And when those come out, sometimes you realize that, oh my gosh, this is a non-negotiable for me. This is my line in the sand. I won't cross over. And it ends up that if you keep going in the direction you're going, you either have to let go of your values or the other person does. There's some things in life that are that important. Some things in our business that are that important. I've actually been in businesses and taken jobs where it turns out it looked great in the beginning, but as I got into the culture of that organization, I realized that my values, my core values, were definitely misaligned with that business or that industry or that job that I had taken. And that meant that wasn't going to change the whole culture usually. That usually meant that I needed to do something else. I needed to set the boundary and draw the line in the sand for myself and say, nope, the way y'all do business, not going to participate. And that's okay. You can do business the way you want to, but that does not fit for me and my core values. So I will find something else. There's always another job. There's always another industry. There's always another business where you can contribute in a way that is right for you, right for your identity, right for your ego, right for who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world. So what's our action item today? Let's get to that. We are going to identify one business spiritual drain that's happening in your business right now. Do you have any toxic clients? I had to fire our best client in my business one time. And I'm not proud of this, but it took me a year to make that decision and actually make that happen, because I was so afraid and my ego and identity was tied up with being in partnership with this customer or having them as a customer. And it turns out that it was all made up in my head. We let them go, and within 3 months we had replaced their business and another 20% in terms of sales and volume. And so a lot of times we put things off. And how do you measure the damage that caused to me and my organization at that time? I don't think there's a way to calculate that. But the relief after it changed and the amazing things and the floodgates that opened up after that definitely taught me a lesson about making those decisions faster and a whole lot easier. If it doesn't feel right to you, it's not right for you. If there's anything that's off. So look for something today that might be draining your spirit or misaligned. Again, it could be a toxic relationship. It could be somebody hurt your feelings and you're still holding on to that. Well, that's up to you to let that go, right? People hurt your feelings and not even know they hurt your feelings, and you'll feel bad for years and they won't even have realized it. They'll still think you're best friends. So it's amazing. As humans, we can create anything. We can create positive things that work in the favor of our business, or negative things, negative thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, anxiety, etc. And so we get to choose. Exert your personal and business power and choose what is in the benefit of growing and scaling your organization, not what holds you back. I guess that's enough about this today. So pick one thing, become aware of it, do something to combat it, and then share in the comments below, done that you've done it, or if you want to help other people, share what you realized and the impact that it had and how you changed it, because then we can all learn from one another. All right. Have an absolutely amazing day. If I can help you in any way, ask. If you like looking at business from different perspectives and growing and scaling your business in ways that maybe other people haven't thought of or aren't doing, join us in our free Supersize Your Business School community. Just put me in the comments below and I will send you a special invite. Otherwise, well, make it an amazing day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow.